there.
Marty's always saying. Marty's always
Push it
saying.
back, push it back. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Derek Rumble, and I'm going to start by apologizing for all the technical, for those that have loved ones here at the home in Barrie. Now, just as we proceed, there's a little thing that you can type into your questions on the YouTube page, and we'll be able to respond to the ones that we can, or if we've had questions sent in advance, we appreciate that. We'll try our best to answer them. We live in strange days and very trying, exhausting days that have changed the way that we live. Here at the home, and all the things that have underneath the Rumble Corporation envelope across the province, we are delivering services in a way that is different. Probably more efficient than we've ever done before, but one that has hopefully not interfered with the quality of life of the people that we're serving, not only here in Barrie, but across the province. And I think part of that messaging that we want to share with you is that we consider that you've lent us your loved ones, and we care for them as much as we do our own, because we consider them our own. We consider them part of that bigger Rumble family, and I just want to share that with you. And I'm sure that's a message that my parents would love to share with you as well. I can tell you across the province, we have the better part of 330 employees. We have roughly about the same number of people that are in service and in residential care that are being affected by this. And I'd like to share with you that we are one of those rare of our facilities down to the public, to families. I was not the most popular person on the planet for those first little while, but people understood. And we know that your loved ones here at the home, our motivation for doing so was to make sure that their quality of life and that their health was the main priority. So we have 0 occurrences across the whole province, which is great news. And out of all the employees we have one who is a part-time employee who we have been preparing for, not even because of the crisis that we find our world in today, but we are ready for anything. And it's because we believe here in all the Rumble organizations that what we do is really about affecting someone's life, and we take that dear and serious. You won't find a more dedicated staff makeup here than at the home and all things that are Rumble, because we really believe, like I said in the beginning, that your loved one is our loved one, and we take that very seriously. It'd be easy for me to sit here and say, well, it's the government's fault, and it's everyone else's fault, and there's not enough money, and there's not enough things. We will make sure that your loved one is provided for and cared for and protected, and that's going to be our job. And I just want to share that with you on behalf of not only the board of the home, but on behalf of my family, who we love this place. It really is one of those models that we have in the Rumble organization of making today better. And our goal is to make sure that your loved one has a better day today than they did here. We are planning to make sure that tomorrow turns out to be better than today. And that's just not a bumper sticker for us. That's the way we wake up in the morning, and if we do get to sleep at night, that's what we're thinking. And we want you to know that we care very deeply, and that we're going to make sure that all of us live out this new way of living, and we will do that together. We'll do that with your help, and for those that have come with your donations of gloves, masks, all those ladies that are sewing, thank you, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for thinking of us in providing care for those people that you love and the people that we love. I'm going to pass that along to Shirley Castle. If you have any questions, type away and we'll try to address them. We have approximately to about what time is it? 4:15, my apologies, to get through this part. And if you do have any other concerns, of course, you know how to contact us here at home. So thank you very much, and thank you for lending us your loved ones, because we love them too.
Thanks, Derek. Well, hi again. Derek has already mentioned the fact that we're technically challenged, and in another 2 weeks we will try this again, and hopefully we'll have more of the bugs worked out. I'm not sure if you were able to see the pictures, the slideshow prior to Derek speaking. I just want to tell you that most of those pictures were taken before social distancing came into place. So if you see everybody gathered together, that's not the way it is now. I'm not sure if we had any pictures that show the way it is, but the next time we get together, I'll make sure that we have a slideshow that shows you what today looks like. So, welcome. And as Derek mentioned, no outbreaks, no suspected cases at this time. So we're really trying to ensure that there is rigorous screening going on, and things change constantly with the government and with the memos we receive, the directives, that kind of thing. So we are constantly improving our screening tool so that it is currently up to date, because as you know, the definition of COVID, or the symptoms seem to be changing, and we need to change with that. And I wanted to share with you that the government announced a new order, you may have heard it, that staff working in long-term care can only work in one facility. So we started doing that April 3rd. So I know that the minister's order doesn't come into place until April 22nd, but we've already been doing it for a few weeks. So I feel good that we're, trying to stay ahead and make sure that we do everything possible to keep your loved ones safe. We've also asked the nursing agencies that we work with to only send us dedicated staff, so staff that would only come to this home and not to other homes, because unfortunately the regulation that was passed by the government did not include agency staffing, whereas we thought it should, so we're just taking it a little bit further. Stating that hospitals have to pause all admissions to long-term care. So that is good news as far as we're concerned, but we're still unsure about what that means about admitting new people from the community. Ideally, we would like to not admit any more people into the home until this crisis is over, but we'll wait and see how we are directed by the ministry. Staff wanted me to remind you that please only drop off essential items like stuff. As you know, the virus lives on certain things for a certain period of time. So the less we have to be monitoring and cleaning and sanitizing, the more time we have to do the things we need to do. I just want to say Amy's been doing a marvelous job with all of you. I know I talked to her one day and she had spent the day and she had done, I think it was 12 Skypes or FaceTimes with residents. So if you want to do that, just get in touch with Amy and she'll set up the time for you. And just so you know that physio continues, we have enhanced activities. Jess has set up church services that show up on Facebook. The residents watch the church service from their respective care centers, and Jess and Donna do the service in the lobby. I really want to say thank you to all of you for what you have done. We've had people dropping off vital supplies that we need, people making masks. Now we have someone who's going to be making gowns. We've had families that have brought pizza in for the staff. And I just want you to know they really appreciate that. It really motivates them to keep coming and to keep working. So thank you. And as you know, the memo I sent out on April 9th, defining essential visitors, I don't want to say too much about that because it was a very difficult memo to have to write. So we have experienced some shortages of staff, so we're continually hiring new people. So we've hired 11 new staff since this COVID outbreak started. And the reason for that is we've lost a number of our staff due to COVID for various reasons. We're trying as much as we can when we hire someone to give them more than one job. So we have a bunch of students that are working for us, and they're working at 3 or 4 different jobs. This means we don't have to have 3 or 4 people in. We can give the work to a student who's very happy to have that opportunity, and they're doing extra cleaning, they're doing dietary activities and screening. So it's been a great way that we could support the students, but at the same time, reduce the number of people that are coming in the building. I'm not like Derek, I need a script for this. We've created a new resident assistant position. We don't have anybody in it at the moment. So it's a contingency plan. If we went into outbreak and we were having staffing issues, we're looking at being able to hire people that are not qualified as a PSW, but could be an assistant. And what they would do is they would help with putting laundry away, ordering the residents to activities and meals, helping the residents transfer and lift, they'd be trained. And that would free up the PSWs to be able to provide more care to the residents. There's been a lot of talk about testing and long-term care, and we don't really know. I don't think the government knows. So we've completed a spreadsheet which tells the public health how many residents, staff, could we do testing here? No explanation. So we're not really sure, and we'll let you know if things change. So, as I mentioned, we're inundated with memos from the Ministry of Health, Ontario Health, the LIN, and other governing bodies, and we try to sift through that as much as we can. We have the assistance of Sheila Driscoll, who helps us to interpret some of this so that we make sure that we're not missing anything and that we're doing everything that we can. Just want to touch on this briefly. So we do have protocols that we've been given that we have of our own of what we would do if we went into a COVID-19 outbreak. So that would be declared if there was a suspected resident or staff with COVID symptoms, and that would trigger our outbreak assessment. So we are ramping up in the background for something we hope never happens here. But if it does, we want to hit the ground running and make sure that we're able to deal with it as quickly as possible and letting you know. So don't worry that you're sitting at home thinking, oh, do they have it, don't they? If we do, we'll let you know. And hopefully you never receive that phone call. So in closing, I just want to thank you all. I know it's so difficult. Yes?
We have a question.
Okay, can I finish? I'm almost finished.
Okay.
So let me just finish. I know that this is a difficult time, and I just want you to know, if you have any questions or concerns, please call us. I know there's been so much negative press on long-term care homes, and some of the stories are heartbreaking, but we want to be available to families if they're feeling like they need to talk to someone, call us. I know your first contact is often Amy, and she often fields those calls, but I'm more than happy, I know the other staff are happy also to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you, and please continue to pray for us. Okay?
Debbie Butler's asking, hello Shirley, this is Debbie Butler, Marion's daughter, wondering if all the residents are well there.
Well, the residents are well as can be expected given their issues, but overall, they're smiling, they're eating. Residents are doing as well as can be expected.
So there's a delay of about a minute, so we're just going to give it a minute and see if anyone else has any questions, and otherwise we can wrap it up.
Okay.
And Amy, you can mention that this will be archived, and we'll try to send out where that is. All right, we can end this off with silence. Thank you, and we will connect with you in approximately 2 weeks.